What's up, y'all? I ain't got the mic on today. The phone's charging. I forgot to charge my phone last night. I don't know what's going on. So I don't got the regular mic on today. So you're not gonna hear my my nasally tonal allergy voice this morning directly in the mic. So I wanted to talk about how employers lie. How they lie. What they do a lot of times, like I told y'all about the shiny building. This may not be a long one this morning unless I think of something else. But you think about these amenities, you think about the shiny building. Like, the place I'm at right now, it's a big return to office, right? And I got a homie that just told me about a company. Now, I can say it now, but Veritas right now, which now is Cohesity, they are now having a major return to office. And I think it's going to be 5 days. I don't even think they do the remote thing no more. And they give it 6 months for people to adjust. And if you don't acquiesce, then they let you go. Now, when I came aboard at that time, they said they would never be going back. That's what they sold you on. That was the agreement of the hire. Now, I should have got that on paper, that it's 100% remote. But then they started adding days. And it became, well, come in a few days. And then it became, come in a little more. It used to be one. And you'll pick your day. But then it became several. You see what I'm saying? And I think what I was doing around that time, I wasn't ordering food as much. Like during the pandemic, I think eventually we start ordering, but we were, my wife was cooking. So what ended up happening was I'd come in typically on a Friday. That's what I would do. I'd come in on a Friday. And then, as I started getting my Ebenezer Scrooge on, I stopped coming altogether. And nobody really said anything or whatever, but I stopped kind of coming all together. And there were some emails that were going out. But eventually, I got up out of there. Sent them their laptop back. Because I still was Ebenezer Scrooging. So I wasn't really tripping. So now at the current environment, they're moving people to different places. People are losing their offices, as I said before. And back to what my homie was talking about. He was hired on a 100% remote agreement. Now, most companies, like the contract I'm working, if you've been deemed for remote, they got to honor that. You're dealing with a financial institution. You're dealing with law. You know what I'm saying? They got to honor that. I wish he would say something more than that, man. Always. Anyway, you got to honor that. So now, those people are good. They don't got to come back. Like I told y'all, there was a software engineer position that was 100% remote. You ain't got to come back to that. They can hire you anywhere in the United States. That's 100% remote. So those people that ain't are required to come in. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's going to be people that's going to test it, and it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well for the people. It's not going to go well for the company. Now, when my homie was telling me they're making people come back, they also got a severance thing. A lot of those 20-year-old old tortoises, they're not interested in learning anything new, and they don't want to get down with the AI. Before I left this company I was talking about before, they were using us to train what I call an AI model. They didn't say that specifically, but that's what they were doing. They wanted us to train the AI model. So enter this in the system, enter that in the system, so the thing can start learning. So they can start cutting a bunch of people as far as them implementing the ticketing system. So what they did was they told my guy, because he was working somewhere completely different. I won't say where he's at unless I get him on the camera. But I will say he was working somewhere completely different. He wasn't even here. So he ended up coming back. And they were trying to get him into the office as much as they could. But they said they giving folks 6 months to acquiesce, or either you're gone. But now what they're doing is they're offering a severance package. So if you've been at the company, they're giving you, for every year you were at the company, they're giving you 2 weeks pay, and I think maybe another month, and you could either fire yourself. You basically could quiet fire yourself. You could either let them let you go come January 2026, or you could walk away with dignity. So basically the prosecutor is giving you an opportunity to plead guilty, or you could go to trial. Y'all understand? The prosecutor, they always try to get you to plead guilty. So basically convict yourself or go to trial. They always do that. They don't never want to go to trial. They don't ever want to go to trial because they might find out you didn't do shit at all. They don't want to do all that paperwork. They don't want to do all that. They don't want to fight it. The system's not made for folks to go to trial. So you could get somebody that either didn't do nothing, or whatever they did didn't warrant the sentence they got, because they just didn't go to trial. That's a typical thing, especially they do with black folk. Well, he did this. Well, we got flimsy evidence, but he's not gonna want to go to trial, because if he ain't got no money for a lawyer, when he gets in front of that white jury, they gonna fry him. When he probably should have never been charged in the first place. So that's the situation I'm talking about. You go to trial, and so some old timers, they might just go to trial and still get the same sentence that they got from the jump. They're offering you a diversion program, but they taking it to trial. So my homie's like, I'm going to trial. He tells me, man, I'm not firing myself. I'm going to trial. So yeah, I would too. You take it as far as you could go. They probably still got to offer that same severance package anyway. But you go out and you plead guilty, and you go with dignity. If you go with dignity, we just gonna give you some crumbs. So the amount of money that they're giving you, you know, I mean, he might as well stay till January. Like I said, just don't do shit. Don't do any more than what you were doing. If that. Do the bare minimum. Because the cutoff point is January. So I've been looking for, we call it Cyber International. That's my homie. I'll tell you that's my name. I won't say his real name, but it's like, his name is Cyber International. So I've been looking for Cyber International, and I've been looking for another dude that he knows. You know, so he put me on to a bunch of Somali brothers that need some jobs. So I said, well, man, you know, just hit me up. You know, whenever I'm in any of these areas, anybody that's black, you know, I be trying to get them in. I be trying to get them in, man. So, you know, like I said, the cybersecurity, was I lying? I told y'all, a lot of the cybersecurity companies, a lot of them are remote. A lot of them are remote because a lot of the cybersecurity companies don't have a specific building. They might have a building, they might have one little satellite office, but, you know, what makes me think, well, hell, I should have applied at that joint. But I'm gonna get y'all that interview. I'm still waiting on. I still gotta listen to the interview. So I'm probably gonna listen to the interview from JW. I'll say his name, JW. I'm gonna listen to the interview. So he sent it to me yesterday, but I gotta still listen to the full thing and be able to make the edits and all the stuff that I want the way I want. So it's just gonna take a little longer because I'm probably gonna use my laptop. I might do it on the weekend. I don't know. I might just do it on the weekend. Get my little coffee and then dedicate that time. But I need my audio system. So I'm still researching, y'all, on my Mac on what kind of thing I want to do with the Mac. But anyway, damn, I'm supposed to get to the whole point of this video was there were some people. Remember I told you the story about the phone where the dude stole the cell phone, was sleeping on the job and doing all this stuff, and he answered the phone at this same place that I'm at. I'm gonna tell you what people will do. They have these contractors helping coming into the return to office. Man, do you know these folks are supposed to be contracted? They're basically supposed to have X amount of hours. They'll come in. A lot of them use A3 to do iMac moves, changes, installing monitors, doing basic tech support, whatever, real basic tech support. Man, these folks were supposed to have X amount of hours to come in, and they didn't came in, they didn't park downtown, all of that, and so they didn't really have much else to do at a certain point. So they decided, well, they're not really doing much, just cut them loose. That was a little trigger for me because I was kind of thinking like, and I'm hearing this, and I'm kind of like, they should be paid for the time that you scheduled them to come in. They should, if they come in and you only need, ain't no work, will you get rid of them? I hope they pay them, because usually what they do is they just mark off them hours. They don't pay you. Sometimes they do a Smart Source. They'll do it like, okay, you're selected for 4 hours. If they need you, if you're there an hour, they got to give you your 4 hours. But my understanding was that's not the case. Just cut them and just send them home, and that's some BS. If that's what happened, I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Here's my bus. I'll see y'all in a minute.